That's a ring of my profession. You don't know nothing about that.
Okay, can we get a close-up on that? There it is.
I don't know nothing about
What
it.
is the profession? Yeah, which profession are we talking about?
Just look at it.
Is it a legal profession?
Of course it's legal. It's a ring of my profession.
I'm trying to read it.
Okay.
It's
too many diamonds. Ah, that's too bright. That's too bright. Well, anyway.
Oh, Mason, are you a Mason?
Of course I am.
Okay.
You have a secret ceremony?
Well, you might as well put your pinky out when you drink your drink.
Of course I am.
Put your pinky out.
Are you involved in the secret ceremonies with the
Stop it.
candles and the...
Everyone wears...
Anyway, the Clippers. The Clippers.
Ring, but that is impressive, Mr. O'Neal.
I don't have a championship.
Anyway, so the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, I have four.
Those he doesn't wear.
Those he doesn't wear. The Clippers.
Yeah.
As I was blinded by success.
It's the world's most well-known secret society. Rich with symbols and ritual, it's a source of legends. Welcome to the world of Freemasonry. True or false, the Masons are a secret society.
No, that's false.
UCLA history professor Margaret Jacob is one of the world's leading experts on Freemasonry. True or false, Freemasonry is a religion.
No, it's false.
True or false, Masons were behind the American Revolution.
False. False, false.
Okay, but what about on the dollar bill? The eye and the pyramid?
Yeah.
I mean, that's Masonic, right?
No, everybody says it's Masonic. In fact, it's a commonplace in the 18th century, that particular set of symbols.
True. Freemasons laid the cornerstone of America. Well, at least some of its most iconic structures. So what is Freemasonry? Simply put, it's the world's oldest and largest fraternity.
Even while blindfolded, try to concentrate on what you are asked, what is said to you, and what is happening around you. Everything will be explained to you in later sections of the degree.
When a candidate comes in through the door, he's blindfolded because symbolically he's in a state of darkness, because Masonry is all about moving from darkness into Masonic light.
That it's about.
And that is a great deal of background information on what Freemasonry is and what and who they believe in. They are the priests of this world that are directing it to a new world order. This topic is overwhelming because there are so many other points to cover. I will let Father lead me on where to go with it next. But if I impress anything upon you, I want you to know never to trust a Mason. Let me explain why. Just by the fact that they are a Mason means that they are able to keep secrets and are bound to them. They can lie to your face and never feel a way about it. They have taken oaths that supersede their family and obligation to our Father in heaven. And you should know this if you have a father, a husband, an uncle, a friend that is a Freemason. Especially if you have a pastor that is a Freemason. And you will find that this is a huge occurrence in the Black community. But I don't want to jump too fast. If your pastor is a Freemason, or you see a lot of Freemason symbols on license plates in your church parking lot, run from that church. There is a lot more to unveil, but most of it cannot be understood without understanding this topic first. When discussing this topic, Isaiah chapter 5 immediately comes to mind, like I'm sure it does with many of you. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. That's Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. These men are pushing darkness to the world by calling it light. Woe to them. They believe that they are agents of light, though they are truly agents of darkness. Woe to them. The fact and truth is that they are on the opposite side of the battlefield, and because their secrets are so concealed, and many of us just walk in ignorance of the world that we live in, many of us have no idea of it at all. You see, the Bible has prepared us for this, though, and told us that this is exactly what Satan will do. The Apostle Paul warned us in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 14 and 15. And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. So what is Freemasonry? It is an organized religion tasked with the goal of spreading the light of Lucifer to the world. It desires to rebuild Solomon's temple and save humanity through their Messiah. It is a religion masked and covered by secrets and charity. They are agents of darkness masquerading as agents of light. This part of the world has been hidden from us, and they have been covering up their intentions on bringing about their new world order and their false Messiah. And those that are following the lies of this world and moving in its direction are being led by them. It's important that you wake up and make sure you are not being led and steered by darkness. You must worship our Father in heaven in spirit and in truth, and reject the lies and the blasphemy. Knowledge is power, and that's why they have hidden themselves in the shadows. It keeps all of those who cannot see them without power. The goal of this ministry is to reverse this and keep the church ready for our Messiah's coming. Please stay ready and awake. Remember John's warning in his first epistle, chapter 4, verse 1. He says, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets have gone out into the world."
Through a Southside community staple in Providence. The Prince Hall Masonic Temple caught fire Christmas morning. Tonight, we're hearing from the fraternal organization that owns the building. 12 News reporter Brittany Schaefer joins us now live from Providence with a look at the damage left behind. Good evening, Brittany.
Good evening, Chelsea. Firefighters arrived here on Eddy Street around 6 o'clock Christmas morning. Flames were shooting through the roof here, which is now partially exposed, and the windows are boarded up. Fire officials say the building is a total loss. Clarence Sneed Jr. woke up to a devastating phone call Christmas morning.
I rushed down here with my family, and at that time the building was engulfed.
He tells me he could smell smoke coming off the highway and knew the outcome wasn't good. A place Sneed says held gatherings, weddings, and charitable events destroyed in hours.
Devastated. It's totally lost. The first floor, the hall where all the events took place, has collapsed. There's no floor. I mean, the building is in shambles.
Providence firefighters returned to the building around 5 p.m. Friday when the fire reignited. The now charred Prince Hall was alive with people just 2 days before the fire.
We had an annual toy drive, food drive / clothing drive. Over 500 cars wrapped around Sales Avenue all the way back to Broad Street. People would pull up, they would tell us how many children they had. We would come out, we had all the toys, the food outside.
Providence City Councilman Pedro Espinal was at the toy drive Wednesday and tells 12 News this is, quote, such a loss for my community. The Eddy Street building had belonged to the Prince Hall Fraternal Organization since 1966. Grandmaster Sneed has been a member for 27 years and tells me the long-running charitable organization is now asking for help.
We're going to need all the assistance we can, from our city officials, state and city, as well as any charitable organizations that can help us out. We will rebuild. We will be bigger and better. It's just going to take a collective effort.
And Sneed tells me he holds the most memories from Prince Hall from around the holidays, and they're hoping they can rebuild by that time next year. As for a cause of this fire, that's still under investigation. For now, live in Providence, I'm Brittany Schaefer, 12 News.